Hello, I'm Corey Powell, Hollywood's hair guru, enlightening you one strand at a time. Here we are in sunny Southern California. Welcome to Hair, Body, and Soul.
Welcome all you viewers at home. I'm your beauty and fitness guru, Lauren Barnette.
And I'm Jason H. Kennedy, host of Hollygood and creator of ChangeWorld.Space.
I'm going to share with you my picks of the hots and the top knots, the hits and the messes, the updos and the don'ts.
That's right, and I'm here to talk all about the body, the fitness, and of course, the dress.
And then I'll address those whose work proves to me that beauty is as much soul deep as it is skin deep. Before we jump in, we want to know who you think has the best hair, body, and soul.
So hashtag hair, body, and soul on my Twitter account, Corey Powell Hair.
That's right, and at the end of our show, we're going to let you at home pick our 2016 HBS Award.
First up is the beautiful Olivia Wilde. I love the perfect updo she wore, just like the right amount of braids. The proportion was perfect on her head shape. And I really think they put in a little piece on the back of braid, but they blended it in with the color and everything. It was perfect.
She looked so gorgeous. She had this beautiful Nil Lane choker that just was to die for. She was really flossing that cleavage in this beautiful white Valentino. It had a plunging neckline. It was completely backless. Girl, I don't know what you do to work out, but keep on doing it.
Next up is Alicia Vikander from The Danish Girl and Brie Larson from The Room. Both are very youthful and modern with their middle part and had no height. The sides were pulled back to the crown. It was exposing their young, fresh faces. I think it's an updo for sure.
All right, I wasn't crazy about the hairdos, but Alicia looked like Belle from Beauty and the Beast, and also she won for Best Supporting Actress for The Danish Girl. She was dressed head to toe in Louis Vuitton, which would make sense. She's a spokesperson for them, and she's worn them all the award season.
I loved the dress yesterday. Her hair was really simple, maybe too simple for the Oscars, but nonetheless, she exhibited style and grace. Especially during her backstage press talk, in which she said she was hopeful that this film inspired social change. And also The Room from Brie Larson. I love this film. It talks a lot about some heavy subject matter, which is important, especially in the days of increased human trafficking.
We have Cate Blanchett up next, and wow, she was red carpet gold. The blonde was on point, volume was very slight, and the wave was perfection.
Perfection, yes, her hair was, but her dress was not. She wore an ice blue floral number, which just didn't do it for me. The color looked great on her, but I expected more from her. I feel like she's just, I bow down to her every time I see her in anything super fashion forward. She was wearing Armani Privé, and to me, she just looked like a 3D piece gone wrong. I love her, hated the dress.
I do admire her no matter what. She's continuous class and elegance. She brings it to every role, and most of those roles are more often than not agents of change.
Next up, we have the Lady Gaga. She was amazing. She's always pushing that style envelope. The glamorous, wavy lob, it was genius.
I totally agree here. To me, she looked like a modern day Marilyn Monroe. She was wearing Brandon Maxwell. I loved everything about her outfit. It was white, chic, amazing. I thought she was wonderful.
She had the most riveting moment of the night, too, in my opinion. This was from the film The Hunting Grounds. CNN aired this. It's been on college campuses everywhere. It was a huge gift for the film, but for everyone who would take the time to watch it. It's also part of this, the college campus tour that's really important for victims, survivors, and educating people so that they don't become perpetrators as well.
I'm a survivor of incest, so I really related to that song. It was super moving for me. I was at home on TV crying, it was just amazing.
And the no shame is a really important part of this. That subject matter is put out there so that people can speak up. And I have to say thank you for sharing what you shared with us. And it's already taking form if we're seeing that you're sharing that with us today too.
It's like a ripple effect, isn't it? I mean, Lady Gaga is known for this incredible musician, obviously now an actor. And then last night she reveals, that she's a survivor, and less than hours later you're revealing that you're a survivor too. And I feel like it's just that ripple effect that's going to keep on rippling. And to me, that's so beautiful. It
is beautiful. And I have to say, I know Paul Blavin, who's the producer of this film. I've worked with him, and he's a newbie to Hollywood, but not to philanthropic causes and to real change in our world. And I herald him.
Great, and I herald you, Corey Powell. Mwah! Thank you for sharing with us. That's very brave of you.
Okay, let's talk about beauty. Damn, she was sexy, that Charlize Theron. Super chic updo, that golden blonde. It's definitely the color of the season.
She's smart, she's sexy. She uses her success and stunning qualities for real change in our world.
Totally agree. For me, Charlize Theron was hands down the best dressed of the night. She had on this gorgeous red Dior dress, very low plunging neckline, this amazing diamond necklace that went all the way down to maybe her belly button and who knows even further, but I loved everything about it. She looked gorgeous. She's always so classy. I bow down to Charlize. Love you.
Next up is the beautiful Aussie, Margot Robbie, who I've actually had the pleasure of working with, and her hair color was nice and goldy and on point, but she kind of looked like an Oscar that just walked off the beach with hair dangling in the wind.
Speaking of Goldie, yes, she was totally Goldie from head to toe. She did, to me though, look like a golden goddess. Whether you loved it or hated it, I was in the fan base that loved it. She had on this gold, sexy, snakeskin-like dress. I think she totally rocked it.
She rocked it. The night loved her. I loved her cameo in what I thought was actually an under-awarded film, The Big Short, which really talked about some heavy subject matter, and she put it out there in a really clever way from a bathtub.
All right, so now we have to at least give a little bit of a shout out to the guys of last night. I know all of our ladies at home are wondering, let's talk about Leonardo DiCaprio.
I do want to say that my favorite part was his acceptance speech. You know, of course, he got that quote in there, I do not take the night for granted and we cannot take this planet for granted. Thank you, so true. He's really the real deal of Hollywood for real change.
He looked amazing. He's always so handsome, and you can tell he had that speech ready 30 years ago when he did What's Eating Gilbert Grape, honey, because he pulled it out, he said it like a pro, he brought awareness to global warming, and I just thought he was amazing. I loved everything about it.
Let's just talk about Chris Rock. I mean, I loved his approach to the messaging, and while more than a few of the skits or jokes fell flat, he did exhibit a bold but positive approach to #Oscarssowhite. My favorite part were his interviews outside the Compton movie theater. How about you guys?
Yes! Oh my gosh, those were the best. Even though I thought that...
The cookies, the Girl Scout cookies, the Girl Scout cookies. That was so heartfelt. So ladies, what's hot for 2016? It's definitely golden blonde and parted down the middle.
And strapless is all the rage this year for the gowns.
And of course, I'm loving the social good that came out of the films, the night, and the award ceremony in general.
So the winner is, for the HBS Award, Lady Gaga, hands down. She deserves it. Thank you, Lady Gaga, for being who you are today.
So we want to know from everybody at home who you think should have won the HBS Award this year. Was it Gaga or was it somebody else?
There was a lot of vulnerability that you don't usually see at the Oscars, and I really identified with that.
Thank you, Corey. You know what? Brené Brown says that vulnerability is the birthplace of creativity, innovation, and change. It's my favorite, and I actually see that a lot in the films and the awards that were given out last night.
Thanks for joining us on Hair, Body, and Soul. I'm Corey Powell, and I'm all about the shoulders and up.
That's right, and you can follow me at Twitter at Lauren Barnette. I'm all about the body and all about the gowns.
And you can follow me for everything about the soul at Change World Today on Twitter.